What's up, Internet? Back to talk a little Love Island USA today, where I'm going to listen to other people's opinions on the hot subjects, mostly one hot subject, which is still Aniya and Casey. They've been a hot subject the whole time, but now it's them apart. And if you're wondering, am I wearing the same shirt as yesterday? Yeah, because I had to record this on Wednesday night if I was going to get this done. So I feel like for most of this season so far, everyone could only see things from Casey's point of view. Annayia getting hate for every little thing she possibly could do. The tide is finally changing against Casey as he is showing his ass, showing his true colors in Casa. And we're going to listen to some opinions on the whole matter today, and maybe a few other opinions on different people towards the end.
Casey is not here for love, he is here for lust. Now it's making so much sense about him and Anniya's relationship. I feel like it's not gelling because he wants to get more lustful, which he mentioned, and she does not. She's looking more so for love.
This is definitely one of the biggest problems between these two, where their compatibility lied. Casey is now showing, which he was not showing at the beginning, but he's showing now that he is on the show for lust, maybe even to try and win the game. Whereas Annayia, I have always felt, has been there to really try and have a genuine connection. That is what we are seeing between the both of them, because Annayia the whole time was trying to get communication into their relationship, which is what you need if you're actually looking for a real relationship. Meanwhile, Casey never communicated with Annayia what he really wanted, which was more sex. And let's just listen to this next opinion, which I think is so valid.
Yeah, as a man, I'm going to speak on this. KC is an egotistical man, and he's showing that to the audience every single episode now. Okay? When he was in the villa with Annayia, I started to see a trend of inconsideration, of rudeness, and then these comments of, not even comments, plural. It was a comment that he made regarding, classifying Annayia as a grandma. Like, this disrespect, because he wasn't receiving what he wanted from Annayia. How I see the situation is that he did not do the work with Annayia to build the foundation that they needed to have. And part of that foundation that they needed was comfortability.
This is so real. Not everyone is going to go on a television show trying to bust it wide open. There's been a couple people so far this season willing to do that. And there's usually only a few people each season of Love Island truly, really willing to do that. And Annayia was never going to be one of those people. Again, it's why she didn't pick the guy that was squatting her during Casa, because she's not looking to get fucked on television. With men actually looking to make a real connection, you do have to make them feel comfortable before they're going to get super sexual with you. Casey was not actually willing to put in that work, let alone communicate his own needs in the first place.
He's so fixated on his needs and wants that he's not also focused on what she needs and wants and what she's comfortable with doing. So now he's acting a fool in Casa Amor. And I'm not saying that he couldn't explore, but you see the switch. We see the switch. And for some people who don't want to acknowledge it, cool. But we're not going to sit up here and blame Annayia when Casey quite literally didn't do the work to build a healthy relationship with her. And as a man, I'm going to stand on that. This is ridiculous. And I see some men, on the internet, I've seen some men talk, be in support of Casey. You all are fraudulent. And honestly, you probably don't have healthy relationships with women.
I mean, a lot of the guys that I've seen being super pro Casey have been people that I don't think have been touched in a very long time. I said that weeks ago. I think people should have saw that some of the main people jumping onto the KC train were people who I would call pretty red-pilled or just women-hating in general. A lot of those people started the hate trains on Annayia, and it seemed to just grow and snowball from there with multiple people jumping on. It didn't help that people felt sorry for Casey when he wasn't chosen at the beginning, as if he's the first person not chosen at the beginning on Love Island. It happens literally almost every single year. But this good point here is that Casey is only into his own needs and wants. But the thing that hurts it even more is he wasn't willing to communicate it to Annayia. He was willing to communicate this to everyone else in the villa except Annayia. So it's someone who's after his own wants but can't even communicate it to the person that he's with. And then he has this huge resentment now. This girl on TikTok, for the love of KV, really read Casey for filth.
The stark differences between debates I've seen about Casey and Annayia are a clear example of how Black women are disproportionately judged at an alarming rate, to where the Black man gets to go on the show, praise her for how much I like you, you the blueprint of a Black woman, but behind doors, you get to call her grandma. You get to go to Casa and treat these girls however.
This is exactly what was happening. Until the episode on Tuesday night, there was still a lot of defense for Casey. In spite of when he first got to Casa, he was already starting to show that he was a different person. Before Casa, he was already a different person with Corbin. In conversations, that's when he would throw Annayia under the bus, be mean, say things about her, stuff that he would not communicate to Annaya's face. So up until the episode on Tuesday night, yeah, Casey was still getting away with a lot from a large portion of the audience. Meanwhile, the difference is very stark because Annayia, every little thing she does or doesn't do has been just magnified tenfold on social media.
Talk about women however, and there's no critique. There's no critique. There are still people and still women, especially who are like, but Annayia, she's emotional. That's why he acts this way, because she's emotional. No. Yeah, she was emotional, as she should be. Yeah, she was questioning, as she should be. Yeah, she was unsure, as she should be. She was overthinking, probably hoping that KC wasn't exactly who he shows and continues to show himself to be.
Yeah, everything Annayia was worried about is she just the easy option? Does he really want to explore? Is he feeling boxed in? All of these different things he's told some of the guys, but has not been able to tell Annayia, yet she was still feeling it in her gut. And actually, she only got emotional that one time, really. At least tears-wise. She cried a few tears one time. That also got magnified like she was crashing out. KC technically been crashing out for the whole season so far. If he still is feeling insecure and holding a grudge from what happened on night 1, technically he's been crashing out the whole season over that then.
He is lessfully girl hopping. I think I got a stronger connection. Y'all ain't even talk about nothing real. Nothing real. He wants someone to want him so bad because his ego is hit from the first episode that was 4 weeks ago. And we say women are too emotional. Well, it's women. It's Annayia. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, Casey's showing in his own way how emotional men can be. And the emotions come out different. In Casey, it's this building anger and resentment from what happened on night 1, where all the women didn't choose him. But he still takes it out on Annayia, who actually has chosen him before. In the first recoupling, that is who Annayia chose. Sean has gone out on social media saying he had a lot of talks with Annayia. That's who he was interested in. Annayia still chose Casey over Sean. So for Casey to take out all of his anger and insecurity from that night 1 on Annayia shows how emotional and insecure Casey really is.
So I'm actually, you know what, Annayia, I wasn't loving Carl that much, okay? He ain't the cutest cup of tea. But he's the nicest. He seems the kindest. He seems to actually respect her. And I don't love how y'all are on here painting this picture that, oh, Annayia don't like Black men anyway because she chose him. No, look at how the black men treated her.
I will say it's too soon to not judge Carl. We've really only got to see him for 1 episode so far as we slowly get to know him. We don't know if he is as good as he seems on first look either, unfortunately. However, as I've been saying, Carl and Annayia are definitely on more of the same speed. Annaya's mother is also sick of everyone questioning Annaya's background when it comes to dating. She's posted things like, girl, I don't care what he is. I'm so over the colors. Her ex-boyfriends have been black. People act as if they know Annayia. It's literally crazy to me. Another post when questioning if Annayya's 2 or 3 relationships have been brown or dark skin or fully black. Annayya's mom says, I need you to have that same genuine question for every single female on that show and not just Annayia. Yeah, that has been... Like I said, Annayia is under this huge microscope, has been all season. And I don't know exactly why, but I do know it started to snowball more and more once the women haters jumped on board to feel sorry for Casey and really try and blame Annayia too. It's similar to what Casey's doing right now for night 1. Somehow that is all Annayya's fault, as if she too was not rejected on night 1 from Sincere.
Okay, boy, what a disappointment your motherfucking ass just turned out to be. Your ass still mad and upset at the fact that nobody picked you and stood behind your door day one. Surprise, nobody picked Annayia either. She ain't holding that over nobody's head. Why the fuck are you holding that over her head?
KC and Tierra are clearly a better match, and I'm ready for Annayia to be free of him. He's running around Casa Amor saying that he don't have anything in common with Annayia. But also on the flip side, Annayia is realizing what it's like to have a man that actually listens to you. Carl is paying close personal attention to her. But I don't think that she's being fooled by the idea of Carl being a Casa boy in comparison to KC, who is just enamored with the idea of being wanted. Like, duh, these girls are showing that they want you. They are Casa girls.
That is another funny thing to me where Casey is concerned. I can't lie. He wants to feel wanted so much. But yeah, of course you're going to feel wanted in Casa. It's what the girls are there to do. Be as sexual as possible to get back into the real villa. But Casey's so insecure, so still not over that first night, that he's easily falling for it. Some hardcore Casey defenders have seen the light, at least.
Let me explain the problem with Casey, because I feel like for some people it's just not clocking, and this is coming from a person who was initially rooting for Casey. The problem is not that he doesn't like Annayia or he's not vibing with Annayia, because you can't force a connection, and that's not the point of the show. The point of the show is to explore different connections until you find the right one. So there's not a problem if she's not his cup of tea. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that she gave him multiple opportunities and she asked him multiple times if he liked her, if she was a safe option, and he went above and beyond to reassure her that no, this is where I want to be. We have a solid connection. That is what takes him from a good guy to you're just stringing her along so that you can win the game.
Yeah, that is one of the things that he did that I've been calling out the whole time. That is what Annayia was trying to get at with him, with the communication. But the other thing Casey is doing now is like he's being so mean and rude about Annayia to everyone in Casa. Saying things about her still to Corbin. Saying that they have nothing in common. Those are other things that make him look even worse.
Get Corbin and Casey the fuck out of that villa. The way they are objectifying these women is disgusting to me. Annayia has not talked any shit about Casey once. She's still there talking about missing Casey, looking at his fucking pictures, all this. And he's been talking so much shit about her. It's actually weird as fuck. I'm sorry. And then the way he was moving between Sydney and TT, like, what are you doing? It's disrespectful. It's fucking weird. The weird shade and comments that they're throwing toward the OG girls is very fucking weird too. And as I said in previous videos, the Casa girls always have to go above and beyond when it comes to being sexual. That seems to be the only way they can actually get the men's attention. And yeah, it's clear as day in this Casa Amor.
Yeah, Corbin and Casey have definitely over-sexualized the women. And as I've been saying these last couple of videos too, the Casey and Corbin connection has also not been good for Casey. It's almost like Casey is trying to level up like Corbin because he's been such the fuckboy player the whole season. And Casey wants to show it to his own ego. I can do this too. Let's move on to Bryce and Trinity. You know, we're seeing Bryce in the background at Casa sometimes looking absolutely miserable. Bryce is truly miserable in Casa, missing Trinity.
I'm watching Love Island, bro, and not even to be deep, bro, but Trinity and Bryce is actually what Love Island should be about. And I might dare say that they might actually be in love or about to be. It's slick beautiful. I can't even hold you. Just seeing them like slick, like long for each other, and like Trinity crying, being vulnerable and emotional, and him doing the same.
Yeah, this is like great love story right here. I mean, you don't have to like Bryce. I think everyone likes Trinity. I haven't seen many people talk shit about Trinity. I mean, how could you? But like the yearning is great television for me.
But they actually like really care about each other, and you can see it. They get each other. It just makes sense, and I feel like that is what like real love. I'm really not trying to be deep, but that actually what real love is. It's not supposed to make sense.
So I agree with all this. Unfortunately, this guy's going to bring in Nick and Olandra from last season.
My issue last year, I felt like Nick and Alandra, I loved them individually, but I felt like it was very manufactured. Like I felt like they, I can't speak for what they have, but to me, to this day, it still feels a little bit manufactured because it was like everybody was pushing this agenda on them.
The difference is last season, the edit was not there for Nick and Olandra, but we did see early on that Nick was trying to woo Olandra. That did happen in challenges all of the time. Why must we compare the two? Like, not every interracial couple is the goddamn same. It's the same thing when it comes to like everyone wanting someone to be the next Serena and Cordell. Like, couples are different. Let's see how they are with each other. Let's see if they are genuine. And right now, I am believing Trinity and Bryce, because Bryce in the background, when he's not even a focal point of the episode in Casa, I've never seen someone look as miserable as Bryce does in Casa. And Trinity's crying in confessional could not have been acting.
I do genuinely want to root for Brinity with my whole heart and in good faith, but I just can't because of how fucking insecure Bryce is. Like, objectively, Trinity deserves more than Bryce. Even this whole thing of Bryce getting emotional and like missing Trinity at Casa, if you see the way that he talks about Trinity, it's all about like how Trinity makes him feel, like what Trinity does for Bryce in terms of like his own ego. It's not actually anything about Trinity herself.
Stuff like this, I don't like, because I don't like when people take something that happened in one episode but discount something that happened in another episode. Because I sat here and talked about the time when the bombshells first came in and Trinity and Bea showed them around, and Bryce sat there with the guys without even being asked and talked about, look how welcoming my girl is, look how warm she is. He has in the past, we've seen it with our own eyes and ears, has talked about the things that he likes about Trinity. Lastly, let's touch upon Sincere.
Sincere really ain't shit, and I can't wait for Melanie to leave him, because like the way he makes it seem like he wants every female that he gets with is just so crazy to me. Like, you want Melanie, why can't you just tell the girl that you want Melanie straight up? You over here saying that, oh, I can open up a little bit more with you, this and that, but it's like you're always feeding a female some lies, and then like you leave them after, and then you be like, oh, I want Melanie, I want Melanie, I want Melanie. Just say that from the jump.
It's funny to me because, yeah, a lot of people on social media have been like, the show is about exploring, and it is, but it's also about finding love to it. That's, it's called Love Island. And the way Sincere explores is so ridiculous. He really does just love bomb every single damn person that he has talked to so far that was interested in him. And if you are like that with everyone, how could you really like and care about someone? The fact that he is like this with everyone, including Melanie, it really does not make me think that he is into Melanie like that. And that someone had a great comment in one of my videos the other day that is 100% accurate about Sincere. It was Tourist T who said, Sincere gives me husband that cheats on business trips and returns home to his wife and kids with no guilt. That is the greatest way to describe Sincere. That is exactly how he acts.